Hi everyone, welcome to my third podcast. My name is Claudia and welcome here on the Knitted Journey Knitting Podcast. First, I'm gonna pour myself some tea, of course. And as I said the last time, I drink a lot of tea, so I set a pot for myself, just pure green tea. Always good for me. And this podcast, I would like to talk about some finished objects, some whips, but mostly about what I got for my birthday. Because I told you last time that my birthday was that weekend. It's already 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I don't know. I hadn't got around to filming yet, but now I felt like it. And I got a bunch of knitting stuff because when people ask me, Claudia, what do you want? I just sent them a wish list of knitting stuff I would like. And yes, I got some beautiful stuff. So, lots to show you. And I'm gonna start with some finished objects. And the first one, maybe a surprise. It was even a surprise to me. But that's this blue Sophie scarf I made for my mother. She asked for a Sophie scarf in cobalt blue, bright blue, after I showed her my own pink Sophie scarf. And I made mine in like a velvet fabric, and it's really soft and really cozy, and it's just nice to have around the house. I don't think it's that beautiful to wear as an accessory in everyday life. But yeah, and my mother is extremely allergic to wool, so this is polyester and it's great. And on my birthday, I asked her, would you like to have this finished, because it's quite a thick fabric, it's a thicker yarn. But she said yes, so I made it. I made it quite a lot smaller than a pattern says, because my mom doesn't like to scrunch up things or double up, so it just made it smaller. But yeah, I'm glad this wasn't a waste of yarn and wasn't a waste of time. And when I decided okay, I'm going to finish this, I knitted this up in like a day or two. It was really quick, which was really funny to me because when I started this, I just hated the fabric. I believe this is budget yarn. No, durable yarn. And it was a bit too tight. I had to pull a lot with my fingers. But when I started to finish it, it was really quick and that was fine. And I also knitted one for her in another color, and this is the same fabric I used, same yarn I used for my own. This is Katia Velvet, and this is a lot thinner, has a lot more drape to it, and it's a beautiful like greenish blue color. So yeah, I haven't been able to gift it to her because I haven't seen her since my birthday, but yeah, these are waiting. So just 2 quick projects. And finally, my finished object is a sock, my very first sock, because that was just a goal of mine. I wanted to start knitting socks and see if I would like that. So for my birthday, I asked for sock needles, and I made this pair. These are just vanilla socks, and I followed the pattern and YouTube video by the Crazy Sock Lady, because that's just my preference of learning. I like to learn visually, but also like with a lot of help and just an easy pattern, and then I can gradually make it a little bit more difficult for me. So yeah, I really love the yarn I used for this. And as you can see, there's the gradient in this and a lot of speckles. So it starts with purple, really dark purple on top, and then it just speckles out. And the yarn I used for this is by Lana Grossa, and I can show you. I have another skein left. It's Lana Grossa Meilenwijd Merino Jam hand-dyed yarn in the color Dangle. So it's really beautiful. And as you can see, there's a lot of blue in this. And unfortunately, that blue didn't end up in my sock, just on the speckles. And like the background is purplish here and then more white. And it's starting to look a little bit blue. But yeah, I've got a lot of yarn left. Because this is like the original skein. This is for my next sock. And I started to pull from the inside, so the purple and all the blue stayed. I rewinded it. So yeah, I'm gonna make another sock, just like the first one, starting with purple. And the yarn I have left, I will save for some colorwork socks, I think. And then hopefully the blue will shine through, because the blue is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm kind of sad it didn't end up in my sock. But I liked the yarn so much that I repurchased it. That was difficult. So yeah, I have another skein, and this is my first hand-dyed yarn. I really like it. It's really soft. I hope the sock wears well and doesn't peel too much in the beginning. Yeah, it's really nice. So my first experience with sock knitting was I made it on tiny circulars, and it was really fiddly, like in the beginning, in the ribbing. And normally I'm a continental knitter, but that just didn't work for me. So because it was too fiddly, I just couldn't make it work. So I knitted this English style, but that's fine. I can do that as well. I really liked following the video. So each step I just watched a bit on my phone and then paused it and watched the Grey's Anatomy again. That's my current knitting TV show favorite. I think the sock could have been like 0.5 centimeter shorter for me, but I don't like it when when my toes stick out too much. And yeah, it's a little bit tight for me on like this part. It stretches a lot when I wear it. I don't know if that's usually the case or just because my tension is, or my gauge was a little bit off. My gauge was a little bit off, and the pattern said to knit with 2.25 needles. I knitted with 2.75, and I still had, my gauge was still a little bit too small. So yeah, maybe I knit echt really tight. But that's okay. It just turned out beautiful, and I can't wait to wear these socks when the other one is finished. Yeah, so those are my 3 projects I finished. And I have 2 WIPs at the moment, not a lot. And I said this in my previous podcast. I'm in a bit of a slump. I'm not really inspired at the moment for knitting projects because I'm currently at home with burnout, so I don't go outside all that much. And when I go outside, I try to wear the sweaters, mostly sweaters right now in the winter, that I already have. And some are knitted and some are just my own favorite sweaters. Or yeah, I just would like to wear the outfits I already have because I have quite a lot of clothes. So I don't need another sweater right now. And I could knit another sweater for next winter because I have a wish list of things I would really like to knit. I'm currently a little bit in a Notion. I don't know if you know the program, the app Notion. But in that I have a whole list of patterns I would like to knit. Like sweater number 20 with cables. It's gorgeous. Or another sweater number 18. the Ingrid sweater, or the Moonset pullover. I have a whole wish list. But I don't feel like knitting a sweater right now that I won't be able to wear for at least a half a year. Because when you're finished something, you're so excited to wear it. And it's a shame if I can't wear it because it's spring. And in the morning I can hear the birds already waking me up. And it's nice and sunny out here at the moment. It's cold, but it's sunny. So I feel like spring is slowly coming. And I want to knit stuff for spring and maybe summer. So more lightweight stuff, or maybe even like camisoles already. So I'm brainstorming a lot about what I would like to knit. Maybe I will knit a cardigan, because I think a cardigan can be worn all year round, but then I would like to make it with a bit of a lighter fabric. So maybe with some cotton or some linen in it, so it can be worn in summer as well and isn't as thick. But yeah, whole lot of ramble to say I have 2 projects right now on my needle. And they're both not for me. I'm doing something wrong. No. First, you already have seen this, but this is my Moby sweater for my boyfriend. And it's grown finally. I feel like I'm making some progress. I have some markers in here, as you can see. And this is inspired by Fem from the Mindful Creators. She does this as progress trackers. And she puts a marker in between every week or every knitting podcast. I didn't do that. I just put a marker in here every time I started to knit on this, because it goes really slow. And when I see, like last night, I knitted this last little bit, and these are like 6 or 7 rows. And when I don't really know where I started, I just feel like I haven't done anything at all. You don't see it, but now I can see. Oh wow, it's a bit. It grows. The first one that was when I knitted during the day as well, so it's a little bit bigger. So I believe I knitted this in about a week and a half. So it's good progress. Especially since I knitted a sock and the 2 scarves in between. So now I'm really starting to prioritize this sweater, and my boyfriend thinks it's so cool already. So yeah, he's really grateful, and that's really nice. I think I need to knit like this much further, so maybe 3 nights. And when I knit during the evening, it's probably an hour and a half, 2 hours that I knit this. So I think 3 evenings, and then I can do the ribbing and bind it off, and he can put it on, can check if it's good. And he mentioned last night that maybe he would like a slip over in this, so maybe he can try it on without sleeves to see if that's really a look for him. But yeah, I'm glad I'm making progress. This really works for me, so I'll keep doing that, but not much else to show you about this. And then my other WIP is also not for me, and it's not for someone I know. I recently started to knit in for a web shop, like a knitting web shop. They sell yarn, they sell patterns, and they sell already knitted sweaters and cardigans and tops and all that. And they were looking for knitters. It's based here in the Netherlands, not close to home, unfortunately. But yeah, I emailed them like I was interested. So I started to knit, and it's really a basic knit. I have to knit on 10 centimeter needles. I don't have a problem with that. And it's knitted with 1 strand of DK mohair. And I have a whole bag of that, and it's really fluffy, thick mohair. Not mohair yarn that I would use myself, because I've really come to the realization that mohair really itches for me, and this even itches sometimes on my fingers, this let alone if I put this beside my neck. But yeah, this is the sleeve. So as you can see, it's just knitted flat. So I have a panel for the back and a panel for the front, two rectangular, almost rectangular sleeves. And this I will send back to them with all the yarn that's left over, and they put it together. So it's really easy and mindless knitting, because all stockinette stitch. The sleeves are just black and white stripes, and I can show you the back panel. So yeah, this is one of the front or back panels. Really colorful, as you can see, with bright neon yellow, which is kind of cool, but I wouldn't wear this myself. So yeah, I already did 2 of those, and I had to block it a little bit to get the length, because for some reason I don't get the length. But you can imagine these are just squares for the front and the back, and on black and white striped sleeves. Yeah, no construction whatsoever, but it's just for this web shop, and I get an like a coupon. I get a certain amount of money. I can shop yarn from them, so that's kind of cool. But they're really bright colored, and it's hand dyed yarn as well, but it's really bright colored. So that's not usually me. So I'm having a bit of a hard time deciding what yarn I would like to get for this project in return. But I can always choose sock yarn and make some colorful socks. Yeah. So those are all my needles. Those are my 2 whips. I will start another sock today, I think, my other sock, because it's really a fun and small project to bring with me. Like Saturday, I'm going to the handcrafts fair with some other knitting friends, and I want to bring like a little project with me. So I thought maybe the sock, so I can knit when I'm waiting somewhere, or maybe when I'm overwhelmed and really tired and need a bit of time for myself. I think I will need that with my already fried brain. So yeah, sock. I'm gonna start today. And then for the fun stuff, for all the new stuff I got. Sorry for my English. Yeah, like I said, my birthday was a couple of weeks ago, and I asked a bunch of yarn stuff and knitting stuff. And my boyfriend was on this in this as well. Like, he had contact with his mother, and without me knowing, I woke up and I got this big box of goodies from them. They sent in the mail, and I hadn't even known that it arrived. So I firstly opened the gift from my boyfriend, which is this necklace, by the way, not knitting related, but something to cherish forever. But yeah, then I got to the box with knitting stuff from my in-laws. And firstly, I got this really beautiful yarn winder. Let's see if it's in shot. And this actually belongs to like the aunt of my father-in-law. So it's really old, and you can see that, and it's got beautiful, beautiful painted flowers on the bottom. I hope you can see, and it's yeah. I hope you can see it. And this you can just pull out and even further, but I have two hands, so you can pull it out all the way to there. And when you twist this knob, you can actually tighten it and set it. So it stays in this place. But yeah, it's really beautiful, and I had this on my wish list, but I didn't send this to my mother-in-law. My boyfriend just said get her some knitting stuff, and they already got this, and they had this lying around. Nobody was using this, and now I can be the new owner of this, and it really felt so, and still feels so special to have this. It's an heirloom. It's been in that side of the family for so long, and it's really old. The flowers are hand painted, and yeah, all the generations of women, I imagine that used this to wind their yarns and to knit or crochet or something. And I get to use it, and I will cherish this forever. They already said in a note to me, like, if you don't want it anymore, we would like it back. But hey, I'm not giving this back. This is precious. So yeah, this is like the biggest gift I got, and it's wonderful. So yeah, now it's small again. You can even take this off, I think, so you can store it more easily. This is how I store it right now in my new knitting stuff spot. My treasure shelves, as I would like to call them. So yeah, I got that. I got some yarn from my mother-in-law. My in-laws, I have to say, but it's acrylic yarn, so I don't know what to do with that. What else I got? I got, how do you say this in English? Well, I can show you, like a yarn winder. But I also got one from my father-in-law. My boyfriend's parents are divorced, so my mother-in-law and her partner got me the Swift, and my father-in-law gave me this winder. This is by Knit Pro, by the way, and I got two of them. So I sent one back, and I kept the one that's the most sturdy, and that's this one. So yeah, I already got the hand-dyed yarn, couldn't wind it up easily, so now I do. And when I sent the yarn winder back, my mother-in-law asked me what would you like in return. So I asked for books about knitting socks, because I would like to get my inspiration everywhere. So she got me two. They are in Dutch though, and I knit only English patterns, and like knitting Instagram, I follow mostly English speaking writing people. So it's a bit of a change, but this is the first one. It says sokken breien zo, and it's about all basic techniques for socks. So they have basic techniques and different kind of heels that you can do. Like the reinforced heel, but here I see a reinforced back heel and on the bottom of the foot. So maybe I will look into that. For me, it's a little bit of, I would like to say abracadabra in Dutch. It looks a little bit difficult for me because it's in Dutch, and I'm not used to that. But there are also a couple of patterns for like these socks that you see in the front. So just a basic book. I will look into this when I knitted more socks and I'm more comfortable with that. Not the order you would think would be most logical, but yeah, that's how my brain works. And she also sent me this book about swing socks, it's called. So it's a really different kind of technique for sock knitting. and the swing technique. And I don't know if I can show you. I believe these are like little flaps. So you start with just like a ballerina foot, I would like to call that. And then you knit a piece up and all these other bits as well. So you knit from the bottom up, but in all these different kind of strokes. And you get this really cool effect. I think it's really cool. But my brain hurts thinking about this, so I don't know yet. But maybe I will try this. Well, of course I will try this sometimes. Don't feel like doing it right now, but it looks really cool. What else I got? From my brother, I got like a sock blocker. I just have one, but that's okay. I don't knit that quick. And it's for my size. This is by Pony, I believe. I chose this myself and I just like it. It's really simple. Nice to have for my socks, and I do question if I would like to have a larger one for when I'm knitting for other people, because my feet are really small, this size 36, 37. But yeah, don't know yet. And I also got 2 knitting needles, 2 tiny circulars to knit my socks with, because I don't like DPNs. I did DPN for the toe part, of course, and I prefer Magic Loop to DPNs, but I would really like to use these. So I got 2.75 and 4 millimeters for like a thicker DK sock, I thought, because yeah, as I said, I knit really tight. So I thought I would choose a little bit of thicker needles for socks. But now I'm wondering if I would like to have like a 3.25 maybe. Is that a good addition to my knitting needles? I don't know yet. Because my socks are a little bit too tight, and I wonder if like maybe a 3 or 3.25 would be best for me. But that's also just with this yarn. When I use other yarn, my gauge will be different. So I don't think I will need to buy a large amount of knitting needles. That's just maybe a waste. And lastly, I got really sweet from my colleagues. I have like a little club of colleagues I work really tightly with. They gave the same, how do you say this, subject, the same language, so I work with them, and they gave me a gift card from knitting webshop, yarn webshop, and I use this webshop a lot actually, and they sell drops. As you can see, I like drops yarn. I would like to knit with other yarn, especially in summer. I'd like to try something different, but yeah, this is really sweet, and this will be really handy for me. So yeah, that was just a quick ramble. My tea is cold, but I haven't even finished it. A quick ramble about all the things I got for my birthday. I can show you something other than that, and that's do you remember my last podcast? I said that I wouldn't be buying yarn anymore, because this Saturday I'm going to this fair and I want to buy yarn there, and I just had a little bit of a ban for myself. I sounded very convincing, didn't I? Well, that failed. I filmed my podcast on Friday, My birthday was on Saturday, and that day I had to go to my local yarn store to pick up my package my brother ordered for me. It was like the sock blocker and the yarn knitting needle. And I was there, and I felt like, yeah, I could just browse around. And they had a huge sale going on, like 50% on a lot of yarns, so I just couldn't help myself. And I got, I can show you. I got some sock yarns, bright pink, because pink is one of my favorite colors. This is Lana Grossa Meidenwijd 6 Fach. Don't know how you pronounce that. It's a little bit thicker. 150 grams is 390 meters. So yeah, I thought I could use this with my 4mm needles and just make some cozy socks for at home, a little bit thicker. So I got that. And a couple of days ago, I just had an off day. I didn't feel great mentally. So what do? I like to shop. And when I don't want to buy clothes, I buy yarn, obviously. So I got another skein because I thought maybe I would like to make some colorwork socks with this as well. You can never have too many pink things in your life, honestly. Do you? So that's that. I also got and it's really beautiful dark brown color yarn from Go Handmade. This is soft, super soft blend of bamboo and cotton with a little acrylic. So it's 70% bamboo, 23% cotton and a little bit of acrylic. And this is like a fingering weight, and it's really soft. I don't know how this will wear, if this will peel a lot or something, but I just see myself knitting, for example, camisole number 4 from my favorite things knitwear. Yeah, it was 50% off, so I couldn't help myself. I got 3 skeins of this. And from the same brand, I got soft bamboo double. This is the same blend, but it's a thicker yarn. So this is DK weight in a really cute light pink color. I will knit something up for the summer in this. I got 4 skeins of this as well. And then I got, I don't know in which shopping spree I got this, but as I said, I got some more of this sock yarn, which I already used because I liked it a lot. But I have a couple of other different colors. I have this black, white, grey, really neutral color. I've got this one in green, white and black. And everything I've got 2 skeins in, because every skein is 50 grams. So I can make a pair with this. Although if I make short ones, short socks, I could make like a pair with 1 skein, apparently. It won't be the same color though. And my favorite color is this. The bright orange and purple one. I just love this bright colors. Orange is not my color really, but in socks it's really great. I think this is the color Deal. This is the color Roya. And this is the color Barat. So yeah, I have my hand-dyed yarn collection a little bit. I can't wait to extend this because it feels really luxurious and special. Although this yarn isn't expensive, especially in the sale, it wasn't expensive, but it feels a lot more special because you have to take another steps, a couple of steps before you can use it. So yeah, I believe this is really everything I wanted to show you. And next time I hopefully have a little yarn haul and maybe some knitting plans or something new on my knitting needles. I would like to film knitting intentions or knitting plan video for the upcoming months. I'm still brainstorming on what I would like to knit though. So yeah, keep an eye out on that. I would like to thank you all so much for watching and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye bye.